Good evening and welcome to the hour dedicated to talking about all things strange, weird, and paranormal. You're listening to Strange Talk, broadcasting on 1660 AM in Northside, 91.7 FMHD2 WVXU in Cincinnati. We're also streaming at radioartifact.com around the entire planet Earth. The intro track to this episode and most of our episodes is the Strange Talk intro by Starsilk. I'm your host, Alyx, and we have a very special guest today. If you want to introduce yourself...
Hi, my name is Beck Ravenswood, and I am the owner of the Serpent'S Shoppe and Sanctuary here in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Yes, and if our listeners are familiar with that, it's because we actually talked about your case back in 2022. I was uploading our old episodes to YouTube, and that one popped up, and I was like, oh my gosh, was that long ago?
Yeah, dog. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
So long. It was 2023-ish.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, sometime around there, yeah. But I was like, oh, wow, that was almost 3 years ago now.
It feels like a lifetime,
oh my
dog,
gosh,
for real.
It does. I'm sure extra so for you.
Yeah.
Serpent'S Key, for people who maybe did not listen to the past episode, has been involved in sort of this legal battle because a cop came to your place of business to tell you that you could not read tarot for money.
Yeah. So, yes, back in October of 2023, many, many moons ago, when I was much younger. No, I'm just kidding. Only 3 years. So basically, I, in 2023, opened my shop, the Serpent'S Shoppe and Sanctuary. It's a small, essentially, witchy consignment store, where I work with, a lot of my friends are, local artists and just, super cool, super talented folks, who, do all the cool market stuff. I tend to do more of, the stay-at-home, be a little bit of a gremlin kind of person. Anyways,
valid, I get that.
Yes, for sure. So I pulled all of these folks together, and I started the Serpent'S Key, and at the time, I was also, and I am, I'm a tarot reader. So I decided to kind of offer my services through the shop as well, and just kind of create this really cool, witchy, sort of gothy, metaphysical space in downtown Hanover, which is in if you can imagine the Maryland, Pennsylvania line, we're right in the middle, kind of towards the bottom of the state.
Yeah,
so,
gotcha.
Yes. Anyways, kind of in the middle of nowhere, honestly.
We're based in Ohio. Everywhere in Ohio is nowhere.
And I love that. It's very liminal there.
It is. Ohio is deeply liminal.
Yes, indeed. Anyways, we, as a way to kind of introduce ourselves, I guess, to the neighborhood, because I knew that opening kind of a witchy store in a place like Hanover was going to be already kind of ruffling of some feathers, right? I got a neck tattoo and I say the F word sometimes, so I understand why people might be like, what? You're doing what?
Witchcraft.
Super fair. Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm it's not actually the devil. I promise. We just really like the moon.
And candles, mostly.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's very earth-based, and everything that we do here is really earth-centric. There's not really a denomination to it, but it's just kind of hey man, we can all at least agree that we like Mother Earth, you know, whatever you might call her.
Awesome.
Like,
Perfect.
we're all vibing. So anyways, I kind of like pitched the shop that way to a local nonprofit who worked with small businesses downtown to kind of promote them or like introduce them to the neighborhood. And I was like, hey, you know, we're having our grand opening on October 31st. It would be awesome to have like an article go out at the beginning of the month to let people know. And so I sat down with a couple of folks through that organization, and they wrote up this really beautiful article that went out on the internet, like went live all over the place. Now, it was great for publicity, perhaps too great, right? And unfortunately, it caught the attention of the local Hanover area police chief. And he read the article. He saw that in the last line of it, it mentioned that I offered tarot reading, like as a service. Like you can book a reading or book an appointment online with me to come in to have your cards read by yours truly, which I mean, I think is kind of fun. I don't really know. I don't want to toot my own horn, but
I've done that at so many events, reading tarot just for fun. Like it's not for real like solid life advice. It's for fun.
Right. Like legitimately, like they do it at the Renaissance Festival. I also have like a very lengthy disclaimer and have had that since prior to even having a brick and mortar that kind of says like, this is for entertainment purposes only. I went to art school. I'm not a lawyer. I am not a doctor. Like I'm very upfront with like people who are coming to my store and having these services like know like what they're here for. Like there's no way that I am like, yes, and I can tell you exactly how to find the man of your dreams. Like, I don't know, dude.
Here are the winning lottery numbers.
Yes, your magic numbers are 8, 7. Like, I wish I had those answers, man.
Right.
Like, it would be so cool.
You would be rich if you did.
Right, like I would drive a nicer car. Like I would rent, like, you know, there would be signs, I think. Yes. And yeah, like for context, I think I charge anywhere between like $20 and $100 at the most for like an hour of time. Yeah. And honestly, man, I don't do a whole lot of like hour-long readings. Yeah,
like, mostly people are gonna throw you $20 to be like, here, give me a 3-card spread.
Right, like exactly, and it is I mean, it is like for me, it is a spiritual like practice as well. But I specifically keep it affordable so that way everyone can have access to it, and also so that way I can like continue to keep the shop going. Like it's like this very, in my mind, an equivalent exchange. Like I'm not trying to like defraud people necessarily, right? So anyways, I guess that's what the police chief thought I was doing, which if he had taken more than, I guess, a cursory glance at the article and had like looked at my website, or even had just like come in to talk to me like in plain clothes, like without being a cop about it, maybe things would have gone a little bit differently, but that's not how it shook out, unfortunately. He personally, like the police chief, called the nonprofit, said, hey, read your article. I am now going to be investigating this business. Just so you know, fortune telling is illegal thanks to this law dating back to 1861. And then he emailed them a copy of the law, and they like forwarded that email to me. And I was like, that's great. Cool. Love that for me. And sure enough, about 2 days later, he and another officer who I don't know his name. I should have gotten his name and badge number. Didn't really think to do it at the time because honestly, I was 25 and afraid. I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to be carted away for witchcraft, and it's like the 21st century. What is my life? Right. I just want to sell crystals and plants. Like, come on now, dog. Right? I just really want to read cards, and like at the end of the day. Like, come on, I thought this was America. And anyways, these two grown men, they came into my shop, and I had my phone, and I was like, hey, like, just because I don't have my lawyer here, do you mind if I, like, record this conversation? I just want to be sure that I, like, understand everything and can go over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I can know what I'm doing wrong so I don't do it again.
Yeah.
And the police chief, he said, no, actually, you're not allowed to record this conversation because we're not here as police officers. This is a private conversation between citizens. Even though he and the other police officer were wearing uniforms. Like, not their, I would say it's like their day clothes. Like, they had like a little polo and matching khakis, and a little patch that said like Hanover Borough Police Department. So like you could tell that they were police, but they weren't like a tactical unit. Like it was I don't want to like, be dramatic or anything. Be like, yes, and then they came in with
their batons
like,
out.
What is that? And I think there's like clips like that I've posted online, like from the Simply Safe security camera that I have or had at the time. I have better ones now.
Good.
But so they denied me my right to record and said to me, just so you know, we're not going to arrest you today. However, what you're doing is highly illegal within Pennsylvania due to this statute. They quoted the statute at me. To which I kind of was like, hey man, can I just be like really real with you? Like, I do have these disclaimers up that just say it's for entertainment purposes only. And there's like other shops around town, because there were at the time, that also offer this. So like, I'm just kind of curious as to like what I'm specifically doing wrong. Like, and I will remember this probably till the day I die. He looked me in the eyes and he goes, oh, those little pieces of paper won't hold up in court. And I said, okay. And that was kind of it. Like, when dealing with cops, I was taught just to be quiet, like, essentially.
Smart,
and
yes.
That is like what I did. Like,
Good.
as soon as he was like, you can't record this conversation, I kind of was like, well, you're gonna have to wait to talk to me until I have my lawyer present.
Great.
And he kind of was like, well, this is, between private citizens, so there's no need for that. And then went on to tell me about a law that he was not enforcing at that point, but was going to if he caught me fortune telling again. And as part of this law, like, advertising your services can be used as evidence against you. Like, there's a caveat for that. So if I posted at any point to social media, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it could have been used against me to be like, oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like,
you didn't even have to be doing it. Yeah.
And the second that he did that, it's a misdemeanor. Like, I was facing a year in jail per offense. So if you can imagine, per client or per social media post, which is crazy, right? Or a like $2,500 fine.
Yeah. Dude.
Which I don't like casually again, like,
yeah.
If I had casually lying around, like, I probably would like not be renting. Like, yeah. So again, love my apartment, don't get me wrong, like, but yeah, dog, like, it was definitely just like such a crazy moment in time in my life. Yeah. And yeah, since then, like, it has taken a very long time for us to even see any sort of movement with this case, because they don't, I don't know, I have my conspiracy theories that I have to let lie, but
I would guess part of it is it's just not like a high priority. It's not like you're hurting anybody, Right.
There's that. There's also, like, we've had so I eventually, I filed a lawsuit against the Hanover Borough, basically saying, like, hey man, you can't do that. Like, what you just did was super duper illegal. Like, don't do that. And there's been a lot of like attempts to kind of push against the like my case. Like, there have been like, hey, we should just drop this. Like, there have been appeal, like I don't know, motions to dismiss. There's been a lot of interference with the DA, which is like fine, but essentially at this point the case has elevated from not just like challenging the police like force, but now this law that's on the books. So I'm challenging like the Constitution of Pennsylvania, and I'm like, hello, it is just me and my cards. So like, it's just I. Would you please get rid of this law from 200 years ago so I can do the things that I do? Like,
playing cards versus the state.
right. It's really kind of, it's definitely, it's been a humbling experience, like, at its core. But definitely a wild road. Sorry for like just being like, and here you go. But
that's perfect. Yeah, that's kind of the story up until this point. Yeah, because I'm sure it's been just a ton of waiting around. So I've got some questions here that Janelle wrote down, because like I said, she was originally going to join us and unfortunately could not.
I know.
Yeah. But she was wanting to know, why do you think that some belief-based services like financial forecasting or life coaching are considered legitimate while tarot is being singled out as a suspect here?
So under this law, technically any sort of like prediction like for gain or lucre is completely illegal. So like it's not just like it is tarot. Yeah. Like I was singled out for being a tarot reader, but like under this law, they list stuff like astrology, necromancy, like really like palmistry, tea leaf reading. Like they have like very specific framework, right?
Oddly specific.
Yeah, right. Like as to why like stuff like life coaching. Yeah, I think there is kind of like this I don't know, like more palatable like approach to some things like that, like financial and like success coaching, because that's like, and that's super valid. Like those people are valid in what they do, and I'm not going to be like, well, they're different than me. But I do think that there is so much stigma associated with like tarot and other like occult quote unquote practices. That's actually, and this law primarily is like really rooted in racism, like towards like Romani immigrants who are coming into Pennsylvania around the 1840s, 1850s. So we actually, it's really interesting. There weren't tarot laws or anti-fortune telling laws on the books for a very long time prior to like the mid 1800s. And the law went into effect in 1861, which is like when the Civil War started. Yeah. So there was all of this like xenophobia and like kind of like racially charged legislation going on at the time. And this is like one of those like really antiquated like ghosts that still is like haunting us in a lot of ways. Like but yeah, I do want to like just, it is like, that is kind of like where this comes from. It's like, oh, you can't make money that way, you're a fraud, you're a scam. But at the same time, around the 1800s, there were other people like very much being like, this is snake oil. Like we're talking about laws like that are unnecessary. Like when we already have legislation that like regulates like fraud, and dictates what it is. It like
I'm pretty sure the state of Kentucky still has a law on the books that you can't put an ice cream cone in your back pocket to lure horses away. Yeah,
you it's actually illegal to buy cars on Sundays, I believe, in Pennsylvania, and you can't sing in the bathtub either. Like, I'm so serious. And like, I know this because unfortunately, like, I fell down like the BuzzFeed, like, weird laws from Pennsylvania about like rabbit hole, and like fortune telling was right there. And I was like, oh, I'm in this picture and I don't like it. But it definitely, it really makes you like, it really opens your eyes as to like what is still like lurking, like when you look deep enough into some of our legal codes, I guess.
And that's kind of one of the things that stood out to me about, you know, the story of everything that's happening with your shop right now is we have so many of these archaic laws on the book still, and I'm just like, why do we still have, you put it really well, ghosts lingering? Why do we have these laws on the books that are not serving the people that are here today?
Right. And like, I guess maybe like it is because these are rarely enforced. Like I don't like, and selectively done so. Like there are, if you go like anywhere in, like most towns have like a little metaphysical shop. Like Gettysburg is about 20 minutes away from me. And if you've been to Gettysburg, or if anyone listening has been there are all these really cute little crystal shops and like ghost hunting things, like where you can like talk to the spirits in Gettysburg. Like it, and honestly, I'm a patron of those shops. Like I love that kind of stuff. So they're left alone, and they have literally signs with like a crystal ball and an arrow that says like psychic here, inquire within. Like you know, so it is kind of interesting to see, like, well, that's fine because it's like bringing in money for the town with the tourists, right?
It's state, you know what sanctioned, I mean? Like, fortune telling.
Right. But for whatever reason, and truthfully, I can only speculate as to like what specifically, like, there was no, I did a FOIA request. There was no actual report put in. Like, there was nothing, like, no one reported me. It wasn't like an angry client. Like, it wasn't like some sting operation. He, from what I can tell, read the article, didn't like it. It came in, and like, it happened within 48 hours. So I really don't think that there's no record of a report. I guess he reported it to himself. Yeah. I don't know, but like,
because that's why he was like, this is a private conversation. What?
Correct. There's no record of it. So it was kind of like this, to me, felt like a like, whoa, we don't like that in our town. Like, you know, and I'm just here like, I just really like the move.
I'm kind of like, you're the police chief. Don't you have something better to be doing?
Right. Like, literally.
One of the questions that I had here kind of touches on that, was like, are there dangers in leaving dormant laws on the books that can be revived at will, kind of like that, even if they haven't been enforced consistently for decades?
Right. And this law specifically, like, has not been enforced on its own ever.
No.
Like, ever. Like, in the history of the law, it's always, like, tacked on just to add, like insult to injury on people who are, like, legitimately defrauding people for, like, thousands and thousands of dollars, but using that, like, mystical flavor as the root of it all, like I can talk to the spirit of your dead relative and tell you where your fortune is, but you must give me $5,000 first. And it's like, okay, man, like, that's just like actual fraud. Like, you are pretending to be a spirit. Like, that's illegal because it's fraud, not because it like looks like fortune telling.
And it's not like anyone, you know, has ever gone out of the way to make sure that they're not, you know, fortune-telling in Pennsylvania. Like, I'm just thinking of, like, Miss Cleo being on the air back in the day. It's not like they did not air that show in Pennsylvania.
Right. Like, are we going to start going after fortune cookies? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That gives you lottery numbers, dude. Like, that's like...
And people play those.
Right. Like, are we going to, like... make every magazine take out the horoscope section at the back, like like just for Pennsylvania, like you know? So it is definitely like, just like, I understand like the virality of the story. I feel like comes from the absurdity of the issue.
Yes, 100%.
Like, if that makes sense. And I'm just kind of like, it has definitely been difficult, but I'm also just like, I have to like take a step back and just laugh every so often. I'm like, yeah, of course, man.
Good. Totally. At least you can laugh at it a little bit, because I'm sure at some point this will be in a history book and you'll be like, wow, why am I in this history book for someone trying to arrest me for reading tarot?
Dude, I'm just a guy. I'm just a little guy. Like, really, honestly. And I mean that. Like, you know, this could have happened to anybody, like, truthfully.
Yeah.
But it happened to me, and I'm kind of like, all right, man, I can't let this sucks so hard, dude. Like, this cannot happen to anybody else.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, I'm enough of a jerk, I guess, to be like, hey, actually, mister, you're trying, it honestly, like, it felt like my dad trying to ground me, and like something within me, like the eldest daughter within me was like, actually, I'm taller than you, so I'm gonna fight you, maybe, like, in court. That's like, allegedly, like, I'm gonna fight you in court.
I'm just picturing you've got your tarot cards and you just flip one around, it's just the Uno reverse card, and you're like, actually, you're in trouble now.
Reverse, like, take 4, like, you know, yeah, dude, for
That's
real,
amazing.
For real.
Yeah, it really just feels like they should have something better to do with their time. Yeah.
I'm really glad that Hanover is such a safe town. Like, like,
that's
honestly.
great.
Now, to be super real with you, there are a lot of like endemic like community problems, as always. Mm-hmm. Like, there is like a lot of stuff that if we had more resources, or if like the if they were allocated in a different way, perhaps instead of like paying people to come harass me or pay for the new truck they get or whatever, like, but what do I know? I'm just a person in my shop with my cards. Like it definitely, it was something that, like, that's what I think what made me so angry. I'm like, you have better things. Like, I know for a fact that you have better things to do right now.
Yes.
Like, please stop. Like, I know that this is safer or whatever because I'm just like this, I'm the tiny little person. Like, I'm not gonna freak out or like, I don't know, I'm gonna levitate at you. Like,
I mean, that has to be at least in part why they felt like they could target you, was they were like, what are you gonna do about it?
Right. And it was kind of like and that's kind of also what I think emboldened the action.
Mm-hmm.
But what am I going to do about it? Turns out, a lot.
Well, it is always funny to me when people do that, where they're like, you're short, what are you going to do about it? And I'm like,
right.
Famous last words.
I will tell you. Yeah, dude, like, for real.
I'm 5'1" and I am full of rage.
Yes. Right, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Well, and also, like, it is fair that you are angry about it because that's your tax money too, also being wasted on this.
Like, I'm doing my best, dog.
You're paying to be harassed.
Right. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah. Fair.
No. It's awful. But I think that, like, the beauty of this whole situation, because I could sit here and be angry and stew, but what does that actually do? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
It just makes me feel worse. So, like, why would I do that when I have an opportunity to, like, actually do something?
Yeah.
Like, the beauty of this is that I've had people from, like, all walks of life, like, come into the shop and be like, hey, you kind of, like, I just want to see what this is about. Like, this is kind of interesting. Or even be like, I agree with nothing in this store. I don't like any of it, but I believe you have the right to do it, and I will, like, defend your right to do it. And I'm like, that's really
cool. Yeah.
Like, I have to respect that. Like, I have to, like, if someone's willing to, like, reach their hand out to, like shake mine, like, I feel like I have to really accept that into the space. And that's really what we're all about, is, like, making, I don't know, opportunities for people to experience something new without being afraid of it or feeling like they have to know everything about it in order to walk through our threshold, because, dude, there's no way, man.
No.
Like,
no one knows everything.
Yeah, like, I one day wish to, but that's a fool's errand, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Has anyone else in the community, like, obviously other than the police chief, kind of been negative towards the shop at all, or has it really just been...
It's been super, I have to say, like, Hanover's been super positive. Like, of course, there's always going to be comments. Like, we've had a couple church groups, like, pray outside the store on, like, a Tuesday afternoon, which honestly is, like, more entertaining for me, because we do host a Bible study here, like, with the local church. Like, we work with them on purpose, like, to create a space where everyone can come together and say, like, oh, hey, we're just doing the same, like, we're basically doing the same thing. Like, we can all agree on the golden rule, like, love thy neighbor as thyself, or whatever, like, do unto others, you know, like, don't be a don't be a jerk, whatever. Yeah, just don't, is really, so we host that, like, quarterly now, which is, like, really, really cool, and I've learned a lot, actually, from it, but we've had a couple people who are kind of naysayers, like, people who are like, oh, I can't wait for you to close, and I'm like, okay. I had a church down in South Carolina take some videos of mine and just be like, oh, look at this witch, they are ensnaring Pennsylvania, should be a witch hunt. And then I called the FBI, so...
Oh my gosh.
And
of course it's... Yeah, I was say, of course it's somebody from out of state, too. It's always somebody brave behind the screen from out of state.
I was like, hello, I don't know if you want to know about this, but here's, like, this really great link about, like, inciting violence across state lines. Like, there have been, like, these little things, but, like, at the end of the day, I'm very grateful for the way that people, like, again, like people that I was not even expecting have like rallied around this space, because it's not even like, it's not become an issue of just tarot reading. It's like, how can you stand by like the powers that are supposed to serve us turning on just a literal small business owner?
Yeah,
because that's what I'm trying to do. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like a different flavor, like than maybe what they were expecting here.
Well, and that's the thing that cracks me up when churches are all just like witchcraft, and I'm like, there is such a long history of Christian witchcraft.
Totally, dude.
Folk magic
like,
of all
even
kinds.
Into,
yeah.
Like even in the Americas, like let me get on my teaching high horse. In Pennsylvania, we find the first and earliest example of something called a witch bottle, which is kind of like the ancestor of the modern day spell jar, which is a really common like spell format, I guess. But witch bottles were things that people made by putting pins and like really sharp things and roots and oftentimes bodily fluids, which is pretty gross, and I don't condone.
Not a fan of that.
A little bit like a biohazard.
Yep.
But do as thou wilt, obviously. Anyways, they would bury those in the threshold of the house to catch witches' souls. And through the ages, once that kind of became, that sort of stuff became witchcraft as science kind of like came into fashion, shall we say. So it is kind of interesting to see like this like return back to these old ways in a lot of ways, and like a reclaiming of it. This thing that used to trap witches now is the tool of one, perhaps.
Well,
so yes, anyways, if
it didn't hurt you, you might as well take it. Yeah.
There.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. My mom growing up always had it was kind of a version of that. It's one of those glass balls called a witch catcher, where it's got the glass.
Yes.
And
that's
I'm so glad, because anytime I mention that, people are like, "What are you talking about?" They think I'm talking about like a Christmas ornament. Yeah, no, I still have one, which is hilarious.
And that's so cool. Well, it's a protective ward. It keeps away negative spirits or negative things, right? And yeah, these things that like, oh yes, I just have this. It looks like a Christmas ornament. Yeah. It's becoming something that so many people can identify with, because they're realizing, oh, that's just like that thing, that weird thing that my grandma used to do actually has like roots in history. And oh, that's really interesting. And if grandma did it, it can't really be that like crazy or evil or whatever. Yeah. You know?
Grandma was probably not doing evil stuff.
Right. Like I see a lot of folks recently like returning back to ancestral practices and folk practices, which is like really, really cool. And again, in Pennsylvania, we have such a rich history of religious freedom, but also like of this like Pennsylvania Dutch spirituality, which is like very, very cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really neat. One of the big things here that I think a lot of people like don't understand why people do it, especially further south you go, Kentucky is big. You'll see the like bottles on tree branches also to trap spirits, and so many people just think it's like a decoration. Right. I'm like, no, there's a reason why people do this.
Yes. Or like painting the ceiling of your porch blue. Like yeah, that's another. I'm from Virginia originally, so yes, I see like these little like Appalachian like whispers as I've moved further north, which is really, really cool. Yeah. Like kind of learning the energy of each land, not to sound too woo-woo and witchy, but it's definitely really, really different and very cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm from Ohio. All my extended family's from West Virginia, and I live in Kentucky now, so it's just all through that like different flavors of Appalachia. Dude. Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah, Appalachia's so weird and so
strange. Huh?
Strange, yeah. I was trying to think of the right word, but yeah, that's the right word. I have another question here. I'm going to guess I probably know the answer to this, but like, has anyone actually reached out to you or demonstrated any concrete harm caused from having their tarot read?
So like, here's the thing. I like hear all the time, like, oh my gosh, I had this girl like down, like it's usually down in New Orleans or over in LA, or sorry, not to trash on these places. Like you guys, I'm sure have wonderful people, but like, they'll be like, oh, I just walked into this one shop on the street on the boardwalk and they were completely wrong about me. And then I just never wanted to do it again. And like,
Yeah.
that's super fair. If I also had a bad experience with something, it would be really hard to convince me that this time's going to be different, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm not in the market of doing that. Like, if you don't want your cards read, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not for you, that's totally, we can vibe together and we can just chat and hang out. Like, I'm not that pressed. I would love to read your cards, but like, it's all good.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people who come in with maybe like preconceived notions from like media as to like what tarot is.
Oh yeah.
So it's less of like a direct like, well, this one person read my tarot like cards and then everything happened and my whole life fell apart because they cursed me in my reading. Like, I've not quite heard that. I've heard like, oh man, this was like really accurate to a point that it was like spooky or like that kind of scared me, which again is like super fair because I've experienced that, dude. Like, I get it. But as a reader, I try to bring like a little bit of like groundedness and like levity to it because, dude, sometimes there's some heavy stuff that comes up. Like, sometimes you get the Tower Man, and sometimes it's just the way the cards like fall on the table. But nothing in a tarot deck is something that is unfathomable that you cannot overcome. It all represents stuff that we deal with like in life at some point or another. And yes, sometimes it sucks, but a lot of times like it doesn't. So it's, you know, my job is to kind of walk with people through where they are in life.
Yes.
And usually just to provide validation that, hey, you're on the right path, you just have to keep pressing because the universe does not work the way that we want it to all the time. And usually, and definitely not on our timeline.
Yes. Oh God, never never on
like,
our timeline.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that. And you're like, I want it now. And it's like, well, now it's like 10 years from now, dude. You still got time. And you're like, but I'm mortal.
but now. I have actually made someone cry reading their tarot before. Not because they were like, my tarot. She was like, I feel like, so seen, was what she said.
I was going to say, sometimes it is a mirror, right? And sometimes to confront that is incredibly, like emotional. And I mean, like, I literally, dude, like, I have my box of tissues here. Like, dude, I am so like open and down for that. Like, if you gotta cry, man, like, I got you. Like, I'm an earth sign. I will absorb that energy and just transmute that for you. You got it, queen. But
I'm pure air sign across the board, so.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's so fun. Both my parents are air signs, so I was always the one being like, okay, so on the family trip, we have reservations.
Someone's got to be the planner, and it's not gonna be me.
That's what and it wasn't my brother. He's a Leo, so.
Oh no, my brother's also an air sign. Oh no.
That's so funny. I love it. Yeah, no, I think that yes, people have had I think that people have had bad experience. I'm not gonna like pretend like everyone who reads tarot is like super wonderful and super like not ominous. But I think that it's important that you vibe with the person that is reading your cards, because if you don't, then the message is gonna get lost in translation, where you're just like, please stop talking to me, you're scaring me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I think it's something that I have kind of come up with, but not like, yes, this one specific person. Like, I've actually heard positive stories. It's really sweet, and I like really wish I could have met this person because people spoke of her so highly. But there used to be an older lady named Aggie in Gettysburg who apparently she would read with playing cards, and like to honor her and like her spirit, I like kind of like, I know I can read with playing cards, but now I like practice like actually to be like, hey Aggie, I got you, girlfriend.
Yeah.
But the police used to like run her out of her little spots all the time and like chase her around. Yeah, like apparently. And then she started doing it out of her, like I think out of her house or whatever. And she only took private clients. Like they kind of were like, but they a lot of like older folks, like people maybe over the age of like 70 or 75, like would come in, be like, oh, I've never seen this store before, what is this? And then like tell me stories like from old Hanover, and like it was really, really cool. So I've heard good stories of, oh yeah, she read my cards and told me I was going to have like 3 children, and I sure did. And like it was really, really cool. And then most of those people I've never seen again, but
Yeah.
it's like having that moment, I think was like, just like so special. So I'm really grateful for that too.
Yeah, and reading with playing cards is such a cool old Appalachian tradition. So I'm glad
absolutely.
that that was being kept alive.
Yes, I think it's really important. I bought a deck of cards like at a random like convenience store. I just was like, okay, bicycle cards, like, and when I opened them, the it wasn't like regular like spades and diamond or like whatever. It was literally like coins and wands, and I was like, I can't escape. Like,
That's
it was so
cool.
Crazy. Yeah, I was like, what is this? I can't. I'm back in the building again. Like,
the cop put it there so you'd find them to be like, I caught you with the cards.
Right. I would be so shocked. Like, that would be so funny if he was like behind like the
pick up the playing cards. Pick up the playing cards.
Like, gotcha. You know, yeah, right. We got a 304. We got tarot cards being purchased.
But that really is like what it comes down to, is like, where are you going to draw the lines with that? Are people not allowed to own playing cards because they can read cards with that? Are people not allowed to own tarot cards? Like, where are you going to draw a line with enforcing that?
The law is wide and again kind of nebulous. It says you can't read cards for gain or lucre, but doesn't really define what that is. Like, a lot of people think it's just money, so they're like, well, you can take a donation. But I highly doubt if a police officer is going to go as far as to like come to my shop without evidence. He's gonna care if I'm like, but they're just donating it because I'm like like, they're not gonna care. Yeah. Like, so that's also why I want to challenge the law, because I shouldn't have to do that. No. Like, I shouldn't have to like bend myself over backwards just to try to like make a living with like, no, I don't want to be like, I have a gift, but I think it's partially into intuition. But I've also like practiced and studied this since I was like 17 years old, and I'm pushing 30. So like, it's like not just like, I've dedicated a lot of time to learning how to do this. Yeah. Even if it is just entertainment, right? Like, even if we're just looking at it for entertainment value, right? And I'm not, I think that there's a lot of people who don't understand the fluid nature of divination, right? Where it's like, if you see something that you don't like, change it. Yeah. If you don't like it, that's your call to exercise free will, and to make things happen for yourself in a way that frees you from whatever fate you might befall you, right? Yes. And which is something that I try to impress upon my clients. Like, even if it's scary, if you don't like it, at least you know, like, that's where things could have been. Yep. Right? That something's coming, because sometimes things are unavoidable, dude. Like, sometimes the tower is just the tower and you gotta deal with it. But at least you know it's coming, so you can like get a parachute, right? Like, but if you don't want it to be like so chaotic and like crazy, like, okay, then maybe take a look at what we're doing now to contribute to that. Yes. And like reorient, because you are capable of doing that as many times as you need to. And there's no, like, as long as you're not hurting yourself or other people, obviously, like, there are not consequences, dog. Like, just have fun. And like, also, if you get something scary in a reading, that is a warning sign that you can still change things. I know people are always like, so freaked out by the death card. And I'm like, that just means a change. It doesn't mean you're going to die. It just means a change. It's kind of like today, where you were like, oh man, there was a really bad accident, so I like rerouted my map so I could get home safely. Like, dude, it's just like that. Like, plug it into your spiritual GPS, and guess what? Side quest turns out, yeah, you're not gonna get stuck in traffic for 4.5 hours. If you make a turn here. Yes. Which is actually funny. I just pulled up. So I do a Wheel of the Year every year on Yule. I do that for my next year, and I just remembered that my card for this month is the Death card. And I was like, oh yeah, I love that. Yeah. Well, that's very telling. Like, right now we're a lot of people are talking about, and I'm not a big astrologer, so apologies. Totally okay. But they're talking, like, a lot of folks are talking about the Chinese zodiac, because Lunar New Year is coming up. Yes. And it's going to be the year of like a fire horse. Yeah, you're the horse. Which is all about chasing our ambitions and our dreams. And that is a very brief overview. We're still, though, in the year of the snake, which is all about transformation, that death energy. So I wonder if it's kind of like, what are we letting go of now? Not to read into your own tarot reading.
But that has been, the big theme of kind of the past year for me. But if that's like the vibe,
that's what's kind of going through the planet right now. It's like, okay, well, I'm getting real tired of winter. I'm tired of being cold. The snow was great. It was cozy. Had my hot cocoa. I want to go outside, though. Like, So if there are things, and if anyone's feeling that way, dude, you're not alone. Go touch some grass. I promise. I know it's cold, but it'll help. Pet it a little bit. Or go to a greenhouse where it's warm in there, and then you can touch grass and be warm. An arboretum, anything like that. Yeah, dude, state parks have all sorts of cool nature centers. Or even just like, I don't know, just vibe, dog. Like, I'm here for if you follow the wheel of the year, that like Imbolc, like end of winter, beginning of spring energy. I'm like defrosting. I'm already there. Like, Yule feels like it's always so early into winter. Yeah, but at the same time, like, I'm immediately like, all right, let's go. Yes. Absolutely, dude. Do you have any cards like the Tower or something like that are kind of like your least favorite that you're like, oh no? Okay, I have a couple. But like it's like personal beef. Like it's not actually entirely fair. Like I personally have issues with these cards, so I don't think they're actually bad. Yes. I have gone to a tarot reader actually at the Maryland Renaissance Festival, which sounds like, but she's so good. Her name's Zenobia, and she's like older, like she's like maybe in her 70s, and she was the first person to ever read my cards. And every time I go back, dude, I've gotten my cards when I was 16, when I was 21, when I was 24, and when I was 28. Dude, I pulled the devil every single time. I was so mad. I was like, oh. But you know what? Like, it to me solidifies that's kind of become my signifier card, like her specifically. That means like the rest of the reading like is locked in. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. I definitely get that. Of like a I'm just like, oh, you again. I also, it was really funny the last time I went, I joke in my personal life how I'm ready to like when I pass away, the first thing I'm doing when I get to hell is fighting Aleister Crowley. Like, I'm just ready. Yes. Like, I'm dog. Like, I'm ready to kick him down a flight of stairs. No, I'm joking. That's like an allusion to something that may or may not have actually happened. But anyways, so she starts talking. She's like, oh, the devil. You know, one time when I was reading Aleister Crowley, and I was like, stop. Where are the cameras? Like, I feel like Alice. Where's Ashton Kutcher? He's getting poked by a little demon. He's laughing. He's like, I got you. So that one, the devil. Not that I actually think that there's anything wrong with the card. Yeah, you're just like that one again. Yeah, it's like metal. I love like again, it's kind of this invitation to like overcome your demons and like experience true free will. So it's cool, but to me, I'm just like, I see you. The other one is also just personal beef, and it's Temperance. So it's like the one right, I think right before it. And my therapist, who was incredibly insightful. She retired, so I have a different one, but she was like, it was like talking to the crone. Like, she was super, super insightful and really helped me. But she made me meditate on the tarot card Temperance all the time, because she was also kind of a spiritual girly, but like an OG spiritual girly. She was like, yeah, back in the 70s, and I'm like, tell me everything. Yes. I'm like, oh my god, like, you're so cool. But yeah, she would be like, yeah, you need to focus on this because you need to learn balance. And I'm like, what do you mean I need to learn balance? As I'm like, overworking myself and like, So for me, whenever I see Temperance, it reminds me of like kind of that like struggle that I think we all kind of can face sometimes, but that I, as like an entrepreneur and a Virgo, just like really struggle with. Yeah, dog. So like, I think it's like, it's just like, I don't know if it's like the lesson that I'm here to learn on this go around, whatever. But whenever I see it, I'm just like, yeah, so you got temperance. Anyways, like.
I completely feel that.
Yeah.
The devil card always comes up for my partner, so whenever I see that one, I'm just like, oh, that's just you, whatever.
You're like, whatever, man.
Yeah, that doesn't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Are there any cards that like pop up that like feel like it almost like represents you in like readings or anything like that?
So, I really, again, being a Virgo, the Hermit card is like my like favorite.
Yeah.
Like I love the Hermit. Like he's like immortalized on Led Zeppelin 4. Like he's a cool guy. Yeah. You know? So whenever that card, I just feel very comforted by that card. And I really, and this is gonna sound like, I don't want to sound egotistical saying this, like, at all. But something that I'm really focusing on this year is like working on like community building and offering spaces for people to experience like group ritual and group celebration. So we do a lot of like circles for the new moon and the full moon. We're doing like all the holidays on the wheel of the year. We have like classes and stuff that are completely free. So it's like very, it's just a cool space to be in. So I'm really trying to like focus on the energy of like the high priestess for myself right now. And just like, not that I'm like a high priestess, like I'm just a guy. Like, but
wanting to have that energy for yourself, like that makes sense.
But she's like very like mystical. And that is something that like I think is kind of not lost, right? But it's being like almost like rediscovered and rekindled right now. So I think it's important to focus on that like mystic, divine, like mysterious, intuitive energy, and like also kind of like having that be healing to me, because like as much as like I'm, you know, I run a metaphysical store, like this is like actually spiritual to me. Like I have been practicing witchcraft since I was like 13 years old because I thought it was cool. Like,
exactly.
Like, I just was like, I want to do that. And I was like, Mom, I'm not going back to church. And she was like, ooh. But yeah, like it's definitely something that like, again, like, yes, tarot reading is my job. Like on paper, it's my job. But it's also something that, and like everything that we do here is like incredibly like important and like spiritual, but without being like, it's my duty. Like it's not that. Like it's very, I think we try to be pretty grounded and being like, yeah, it's a really cool store and like we have a really great community and like, yes, we do all the spiritual things, but it's also 2026, so like we put the top, like it's fine.
Well, I mean, along with it being your job, I mean, you want your work to be meaningful, so
of course.
What a great job
really
to have.
Grateful. Yeah, and lucky that I even get to do this. Like the fact that I get to do this, like I do occasionally lose sight, but like, you know, sometimes I have to zoom out and be like, you know what? Yeah, I have to price a lot of inventory, but it's tarot decks, dude, like that I picked out. Yeah. You know what? I'll sit here and sticker. I guess I'll put on some anime in the background and just vibe. Like, it's all good.
Well, and I imagine especially like these days with the court case and everything, it's just like, oh my gosh. This is what I gotta deal with.
It can be tough. Like there are definitely, I don't want to be like I know I'm really positive about it. Like, yeah, everything's great, but it can get to like, there are some days where I'm like, I wish this was over. Actually, I'm so tired. I don't want to think about this anymore. But at the same time, you know, my lawyer kind of presented this as like, this could take up to 10 years. Are you up to the challenge? And I was like, yeah, dog, you know what? Sign me up.
Let's go.
So even if it takes that long or longer, whatever, dude, like 10 years. I think at that point, if 10 years had passed, I would be 35. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh God forbid, I'll be a crone. Oh dear. Like, what are we talking about, dude? Like, exactly. Like, come on now. Like, I'll play the long game, dude.
I got time.
Yeah, exactly. I got time, man. And I'm really just like, I'm grateful. My lawyer is so awesome. She reached out to me and basically was like, you should be angrier about this. And she's like actually representing me like pro bono, which is like incredible. Just because she's like, yeah, no, this is like so like messed up and like just should, it's like, this is just something that shouldn't exist.
Yes. That's really awesome. Awesome
like,
of her.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure,
Well,
for sure.
when this is in a history book one day, I hope that her name is also in there of like, yeah,
Thank
she
you.
got this law off the
I appreciate your
books.
confidence in me. I really do, because I'm just like, I don't know. I went to art school, so
Film school, I get it.
is above me, honestly. I can tell you the cards, but I don't know how to file paperwork. I'm so sorry.
And that's why Janelle responds to email and not me, because I went to film school and I don't know how to do email.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's so awesome. So we're almost at the top of the hour. It goes by quick. Is there anything else about the shop that you want to make sure that you tell everyone?
Awesome. Yeah, totally, dude. Firstly, thank you to anyone who has like come by. We've had a lot of people stop by on road trips, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
Are you sure? So thank you if that was you. But yeah, if anyone is like in Pennsylvania and is listening to this, there's actually a bill in the House of Representatives right now, HB 1562. It's been tabled at the moment just because there are definitely more pressing things going on, but it would literally just repeal the law and just be like, hey, this is illegal, so we're just not having it anymore. And if you like reach out to your representatives to like vote on it, like it can be brought back to the table. If you're from out of state, if you wanted to reach out to like the majority leader, I think his last name is Bradford, and then the Speaker of the House, who is a really nice lady whose name I am blanking on, but she's super cool, and you can contact them as well if you're interested in just being like, hey, you should probably look into this. So not to like tout that, but that's also a way. Like a lot of people have asked how they can help, and like the community here is so solid that like I feel bad being like, well, you can contact your representatives if you really want to, but that's like actually the best way to help me. Like, and like, you know, if you see us on TikTok or Instagram under the Serpent'S Key or the Stitching Witch, which is like my personal Instagram, if you wanted to share it, like for real, like that actually just helps like boost and like lets people know like, hey, this is actually an issue. Like this still like, cause even today, even like, you know, 3 years later, like I still get comments like, I'm a witch in Pennsylvania and I had no idea this was happening. Yeah. So it is like, while in our community, it seems like this big issue, it's not necessarily like it is a big issue, but people are not like, people's awareness of it is still like, you know, it's still kind of filtering into the news feed essentially.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And that's part of why I wanted to have you on, is to like tell more people about what's happening, because it's just like, this is ridiculous and shouldn't be happening.
It's just silly, you know? I promise Pennsylvania's really cool. Like, we do have cool things. Like, I promise. Like,
I'm from Ohio. I can't say anything. I know that there's got to be cool things, because there's cool things in Ohio.
It's like up and coming now. Like, there's been a lot of people who've moved in the last 2 years. So, like, that's been pretty cool. And now it's, like, kind of queer and awesome. But, like, you know, it's like I just appreciate folks who've braved the back roads of PA to come say hi. So I'm really grateful for that. For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. This has been great. Absolutely. And I'm glad to like finally get more details from this thing that we saw a quick little article about like 2-3 years ago, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
I know. It's so crazy.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. On that note, we're going to sign off from Strange Talk. So good night and good luck.